the rest of the pack just seems to be really slow. It doesn't seem to be like anyone's quicker than anyone. So as long as Hulkenberg and Gabby both have a good drive and nothing goes wrong for them and have good strategies, honestly, I'm in that same boat with you. I could see a double points finish. With the Chinese Grand Prix right around the corner, does Ferrari have what it takes to bounce back from their strategy blunder in the opening race of the season last week? Off the back of Mercedes' strong 1-2 finish, will we see the roles reversed, Kimi leading in front of George, or will Ferrari learn from their mistakes this week? But first, this is a sprint weekend, lots more points up for grab and more chances of a mistake being made. Well, Aaron, just tell us a little bit more about that when it comes to a sprint weekend.
This is a sprint weekend, and I think it's going to be quite an interesting sprint weekend with these new battery-powered cars, obviously being a bit hyperbolic there. But with the 50-50 split, as we saw in Australia last week, I think we could maybe see a sprint that could end up like the first 15 laps in Australia. I think we could see a lot of back and forth jostling for a position, and if you do mess it up, I think that's going to be enough to really make a big impact in where you finish. So I think it's going to be very, very important to stay with the pack this weekend on the sprint. So I do think it's going to be important to stay on top of that battery management.
Yeah, definitely. Timing is going to be very, very crucial this week. Like you're saying, if you mess up one overtake or get that battery deployment wrong, that could send you all the way to the back. And it's such a short race. Anything can happen in those laps. So yeah, with that being said, the main talking point this week is obviously Ferrari and Mercedes. The two quickest teams in Australia last week. The rest of the grid is nowhere. So we're going to get straight into it. I think Ferrari might have it this week. Aaron thinks Mercedes is going to have it this week. But honestly, it could be either of them. But let's just talk about it. Let's just get straight into it. I'm going to make the case for Ferrari. I'm sorry. They got the debut of the Mclarens wing. This is the first time we're seeing it. Now, we've seen it in testing, obviously, but we haven't seen it on track. Ferrari are bringing their new Mclarens wing to China. This is their wing that rotates 270 degrees and it significantly reduces drag, and there's reports of a straight line speed boost of around 5 to 8 kilometers per hour, and this could be a serious game changer when it comes to that big 1.2 kilometer straight at that back. So
yes, it could, but I don't think it's going to be enough to overhaul the Mercedes engine. I think it's just too strong.
Their engine did look very strong in Australia, to be fair. Like, they were gapping about half a second quicker a lap, and then even when it came to qualifying, it was about 0.7 to 0.8 seconds, that gap to the next quickest team, which was Ferrari. Mm-hmm. But that new wing, man,
it's an interesting wing. I think it's really, really cool. I don't think it's going to be a silver bullet. It's going to give them some advantage along the straights. I just don't think it's going to be enough. Like the Mercedes is quick. It's quick in qualifying. It's obviously quick in the race. I'm not convinced we saw their full potential last weekend. I'm not saying they turned their engine down or anything like that. I just think they managed the pace. So I think they're going to walk away with it again this weekend. I think it's going to be close, but I still think it's going to be very, very difficult for Ferrari to bring anything at the second race of the season. They'll be there, but they'll not. I don't think they're going to overhaul them this quickly, which I'd like to see them do it. I just can't see it happening.
But Lewis did win the sprint last year, and he wasn't in a superior car though, so he's got experience around this track. He knows how to win around this track. That's all I want to say. And Ferrari's launches that we've seen in Australia, I think if that VSC didn't come out, I think they were a very, very strong contender to win that race. I know it looked like Mercedes were a lot quicker, but we seen whenever the Ferrari was following, it was so close. It just all depended on that tire deg, and that's what Mercedes has.
My only caveat, I suppose, is I think they probably have a better chance of standing winning the sprint than they do the actual Grand Prix. Shorter race, don't have to worry about pit stops or anything like that there, so the strategy will not need to play into it. So they could do a better chance of winning the sprint. When it comes to the big race on the Sunday, I just can't see it. I can't see it happening.
Yeah, it's a harder one to justify, I will agree, but like we're saying, we could see an all-out battle in that sprint. It could be back and forth, no pit stops, no bars hold, just straight going for it. So it will be very interesting. Yep. And everybody will have their eye on Ferrari and Mercedes this week, because if you're not watching them, you're not watching the race.
Just want to talk about Audi now.
They
looked good in Australia. Obviously, Hulkenberg didn't get the race, but Bortoletto looked excellent. So I think we could see more points finishes this weekend. I don't think there's any reason to believe they'll perform worse this weekend.
No.
So I think the Audi has real race pace. I think it does genuinely have they've got a good package there. So I've no reason to believe that they'll perform any worse. I am excited to see both of them running. I'm hoping both of them will end up running. I hope nothing befalls either Hulkenberg or Bortoletto this weekend. I want to see how both of them perform. But I think we could definitely see. I think we could see top 10 finish in both the sprint and the quali for Audi this week.
Oh, fingers crossed. I really want to see them in that Q3 again for both races. Because like you're saying, they've just turned up with such a good package. They're beating seasoned teams like Williams and Alpine already in their first race. It just shows you they've got that real drive and that real competitiveness already. Unlike teams like Cadillac that are new to the grid as well, they just haven't brought such a strong package. So it is really, really interesting to see. And like you're saying, we didn't get to see Hulkenberg on track, so that's something I'm very, very excited to looking forward to. And it's possibly the same thing for Oscar as well. We didn't get to see him on track, so it'll be nice to see him on track again. But yeah, scored 2 points on their first debut. Really, really good. So let's see if they can carry that momentum into the next race.
They do have an upgrade this weekend. I believe they've got a new front wing coming. So I think that shows intent. They're already bringing stuff to the races. They've already got that development package and development program going. So that's good to see. So that fills me with more confidence. Obviously, again, it's not going to be a silver bullet. It's a front wing, but it'll just help the car get a bit more performance. So I think Audi's going to do well this weekend. I'm hopeful for them.
Fingers crossed. And yeah, they've already broke the ice. They've scored their first points. So coming in here, they don't have any real pressures. They've already got that big one out of the way, and there's so much more points up for grabs. You've got 2 races. You've got so many more points. So it'll be fingers crossed to get some points on the board again, because I want to see Gabby and Hulkenberg do well. And straight into Red Bull then. Very, very interesting team here. We seen Isaac Hadjar perform pretty well at the start of the last Grand Prix, but ultimately came to an engine failure. Max Verstappen, very, very good recovery drive, obviously due to his crash into the wall in Q1, I believe. So if he can get a good qualifying and Isaac can get a good qualifying in China, it'll be interesting to see a real matchup between them two, because the lingering question I had after Australia was, if Isaac didn't DNF, was Isaac going to be in front of him or was he going to be behind him? And it's just something I want to see. I need to see it happen in China. I need to see both of the drivers finish. But again, Max could be plagued with reliability issues. We've seen it from this Red Bull engine. It seems like they're chasing performance and power rather than trying to chase reliability out of this engine or something. It just feels like that to me.
I don't know if it's necessarily they're chasing performance over reliability. Obviously, they're going to have reliability in their, in the back of their mind, because you need that to win races. Obviously, with the engine limits and all this carry on. But I just think maybe, I think if you're going back to Isaac Hadjar, if we just go back to that for a second, I think he probably would have finished behind Max if they started level pegging.
If they started level pegging, but it would have been interesting to see if Max would have been able to do that recovery drive and then actually finish in front of Isaac. But again, like I was saying, they're running the engines for longer this sprint weekend, so more reliability issues could be popping up there for Red Bull.
Yeah, and I think we're going to expect that. I think that's the point I was trying to make earlier on. Like, we're going to expect the reliability issues. They're going to be wanting to get performance out of the engine, but they're also going to want to be getting reliability, because, like, again, it's their first engine program. It's expected they're going to have reliability issues. But I don't know if we were quite expecting something that dramatic that quickly. That was quite unexpected, I think.
Yeah, I don't think anybody expected any of the big teams to actually have a DNF like that on track, because everybody seemed pretty confident in the secret testing and in testing in Bahrain. So it was quite unexpected to see one of the big teams go out straight away. So we'll see if this continues to plague Red Bull, or if this is just a one-off thing that sort of happened the way that it happened Ferrari and Bahrain at the start of the 2022 or 23 season when they had a DNF.
I think it'll be interesting to see how they compare up against the McLaren, because obviously Max made an incredible drive up to get behind Orlando, sort of the end of that race. Then he kind of got stuck there. it'll be interesting to see how that dynamic works with the Red Bull versus the McLarens whenever they maybe are starting on level peggings. I think both of those cars are so much quicker than the midfield, but a good bit slower than the Merc and the Ferrari.
Teams.
So I think they could be sort of like this middle ground, this kind of like best of the rest, but stuck behind the fastest, kind
Fighting
of like this
each other,
their own weird midfield kind of setup. So I think they'll be like sort of rivals until maybe the development race starts. So I want to see how that goes without Max having to completely cut through the entire grid. I want to see like a level McLaren Red Bull just to see what that car's like, because we don't know, because obviously Oscar didn't start, Max had to cut his way through the field, and Hadjar obviously had the engine issue. So I think it'll be interesting to see. I think it'll be very close. The same way it'd be quite close between Mercedes and Ferrari, but again with Red Bull McLaren.
Guys, if you've liked this video so far, please leave a like and a subscribe down below to make sure to join our pit wall. That leaves us with our predictions. I'm going to give you my top 3 from a sprint and my top 3 from a race, and then we're going to give you the hottest take and the coldest take. So for the sprint, I've got Kimi. Big
call.
Taking the win. We've seen it happen last year with Lewis Hamilton. Nobody expected him to win the sprint race in China.
Yeah.
Who's to say it couldn't be Kimi? So I've gone with Kimi. P2, I've gone for Charles. Again, with that wing. And I'm just praying that car's fast whenever it's running on a shorter race stint. And then we've just got Russell in third, just slotting in again. And then for the race, we've got Russell winning the race. And then we've got Leclerc and then Hamilton to finish out the podium.
Okay, Ferrari 3-4 this week. Ferrari 3-4. I'd like that.
No, Ferrari 2-3.
Oh, sorry, yeah, 2-3. Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good.
And then I'll give you my hottest take of the weekend. Mercedes fuck up Kimi's race strategy in the main race, and that's why he's not in my top 3. I have a feeling something's going to happen to him. Something's going to go wrong. Either a wheel nut gets stuck, or they have to leave him sitting in the pit box as they're waiting for traffic to pass by him, or they make a bad safety car call. I just feel like something's going to happen, Kimi.
Okay. Interesting.
And then my coldest take, aka most predictable thing that's going to happen, is Ferrari fuck up their race strategy. Come on. It happened last week. There's like a 90% chance it's going to happen again.
There is a 90% chance, yes. I don't want to see it though.
I don't want to see it
not again, not 2 weeks in a row.
So give
me
yours.
I want them to be sort of there on merit, not because something bad happened to their strategy. But so, my sprint top 3 is Russell. I know it's a boring pick, but he did just look that good. He did just look that good.
He's in a different level right now.
Hamilton.
Okay.
Hamilton looked quick in Australia. He looked fast on the end of that stint.
So he did look a lot more comparable to Leclerc than he did last year.
I think he's gonna do it. And then Antonelli, third.
Okay.
I think again quite a predictable Mercedes Ferrari top 3. It's hard to pick anybody else at this point.
At this rate, it's going to be between those 4 guys. Like
for the race though.
But for the race,
different story. I do still have Russell winning the race.
Russell double?
I think he's going to pull the double. He does look quick. He does it consistent, so I think he's going to do the double. Verstappen, second. I think something's going to happen and he's going to just pull a madness and Red Bull are going to benefit from it in the way they normally do.
Insane strategy or something.
Something's going to happen. And that could be anything. Antonelli and Hamilton are out,
crash,
and then Leclerc has a bad strategy or whatever. So I think something will happen. Verstappen can find his way back onto that podium, and then third I have Leclerc.
Okay,
just because I like him.
Okay, nice.
My hottest take: I think Audi are going to get double points finish.
Really?
I think they're going to get a double points finish.
I mean, they did look strong in Australia. Like,
they did. I've no reason to believe they're not.
Yeah. And the rest of the pack just seems to be really slow. It doesn't seem to be like anyone's quicker than anyone. So as long as Hulkenberg and Gabby both have a good drive and nothing goes wrong for them and have good strategies, honestly, I'm in that same boat with you. I could see a double points finish. And I think we could possibly see them actually higher up the pecking order.
I think we could. I think we could see something good from them. There's no, the car looks solid, even though it looks a bit funky, but I think it's a solid car. Coldest take. I.e., as you said, something that's incredibly predictable. Aston will double DNF again. They will pull both cars and then send them out and then put. I don't know. I just think something's bad going to happen with this guy.
They're just not having a good time right now. I think it's going to be half of the season before we even see them even consider an iota of racing another car on track. Yeah. They just, honestly, man, we see Newey walking up to every car right now taking notes. He's probably just taking notes of anything.
I know, he's probably looking at the Armco going, that looks that's interesting.
Yeah. I've got one more take.
Oh, you do?
I've got one more prediction.
Okay.
Just because I like this guy so much, Alfred Lindblad is going to outperform Lawson again.
I think that's going to happen too.
I just see it happening, man. I think Lawson's done at the end of this year.
I think it's really early to call, but it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. He doesn't look as fast as Lindblad.
Nope.
He just doesn't.
So I'll just leave it there. So that is our overview for the Chinese Grand Prix, our main talking points that we wanted to cover in this short space of time, and also our predictions. So we will see if they come true by the end of the weekend. Guys, if you like this video so much, please leave a like down below. And if you want to see more from us, please give us a subscribe, and you can watch more of our videos on our channel. And leave a comment and let us know what you think is going to happen at the Chinese Grand Prix. Is Ferrari going to win? Is Mercedes going to win? Is somebody going to DNF? Who knows? We're going to find out on Sunday. So there we have it, folks. We will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.
See ya.